don't know, since the day my camera stand fell. Hey guys, welcome back again to another video you guys were not expecting. So in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about something you guys were not expecting. So, according to my research and everything, I'm looking about top countries. The thing is, we actually have 195 countries, right? And trust me, every country needs, like, there's shortage everywhere. Even in Nigeria, there's shortage of workers because people are actually migrating. There's shortage, and that's why maybe the one bank that used to like before, now when you call them, you notice that there's their customer service has depreciated. That's because the real people that have conscience, they've actually migrated. You understand? So in all countries, there's shortage everywhere because, like I used to tell you people, guys, that immigration is a necessity. Immigration is compulsory. People must move out. People must come in. It is just part of nature. You see somebody that goes to Canada, the person will have citizenship, and the person will move to US. Somebody that has US citizenship will move to Canada. Somebody that has US citizenship will move to UK. Whereas people that are inside UK, they say, no, they want to go to US. So immigration is part of life. It's part of the ecology of life. Because if you don't immigrate from one place to another, it will not make the ecosystem to be balanced. For those of you that do biology, you know that immigration is actually part of life. And that's what I tell you guys in this video, sorry, on my channel, that when you want to start your immigration process, you don't have to reach your final destination first. Your first target might be, okay, now Canada, I want settle, fine. But the thing is, you don't have money for Canada. You don't have visas for Canada. Instead of you to just say, no, if you not be Canada, you can just start from one place to another. Because you see that Canada where you want to enter. There's some people who say they get Canadian citizens or they move common. If you make research very well, you will see a whole lot of people. Some countries, if, for example, some people might say, okay, I want Canada. And somebody can say, this is why I don't like Canada. Someone can say, I like US. Somebody will come and make this, this is why I don't like US. So everybody has preference. What you like is not what I like. You say that one that you want to say, no, is this one that went at? That's what somebody will say, I don't like, I don't want. So that's why I used to tell people, before you reach your final destination, it is okay to take cover along the line. The one that will just drop you this thing. Imagine if you want to go from Lagos to Abuja now. You don't have money for flight. You can go from Lagos to Ibadan. Take train. I be from Lagos to Ibadan, take train. Then from Ibadan, maybe to Osun, take another. You know, before you know it, you will reach your final destination. I hope you understand that. Just like in even in Nigeria, some people say they don't like Lagos. Some people say they prefer Abuja. Some Lagosians, they will go to Lagos, they will go to Abuja. They will experience peace of mind, no traffic, no anything. They will say, no, it's that Lagos that they want to say. So, like I used to tell you guys, everywhere, immigration is part of life. It is nothing like don't say anything like so it's okay to have your normal budget. Okay, this is the country I'm targeting, fine. But at the moment, your resources is not targeting, because the thing is, I used to tell people, when you want to dream the dream that is realistic. Don't be dreaming dream that even God in heaven will be like, my daughter, my son, how do you even want me to do this for you? So try to be realistic in your dreaming, because you can't be telling God, please, I want to see myself in Canada, and then your account is just showing 1 million. You don't have skills, you don't have experience, and you're praying to God. You say that you're just wasting your time. You understand? So in this thing, you can just try and look for a country that can just far back Canada. Go there, gain experience before you finally move. And that's one thing I used to say again, that before you actually leave Nigeria, Africa, or your home country, know your final destination first. That is one mistake people used to make. Sometimes when clients book consultation with me, I ask them, where do you want to settle in this life, like your real life? Someone say, I'm clinical. So before you even leave this country, I used to say, don't leave Nigeria because Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that, Nigeria clinical. Because if you move on a faster lane, the one that is going to happen to you again, oh my days. So take your time and plan. Ask yourself, if you are married, ask your husband, ask your wife, look at your kids age. There are so many factors that actually affect immigration. The place that somebody that has kids younger than 10 years is different from where somebody that has kids older than 10 years can go. There are so many factors that actually influence immigration decision. So that's why it's always good to actually book consultation with somebody that actually have experience in these things. It's not a country that will really fail, especially if you have family, right? So ask yourself, ask your husband, ask your wife, look at your future, your children, and all of that. Where do I see myself? Where do I want to settle? Is it Canada? Is it UK? Is it this one? Is it even the way that we are making videos that I say UK is this, UK is that? There's some people that they are okay in that UK. And a video is upcoming I'll be posting a video maybe tomorrow or next. Why UK is compulsory for every immigrant? I told you people that according to my research, let's be realistic. It is okay to say UK is setting these rules, they don't like us. Sometimes you just have to. Anyways, stay subscribed. The video is coming. I explain some things according to my research. Because some when the video comes, you will hate the video. So this one I'm actually talking about. Okay, so this is me saying before you actually give your final this thing, right? I'm making a lot of videos here, right? Know where you actually want to settle, and then try to streamline your plans according to that, and try to set realistic goals. Realistic goals. For example, somebody that says, okay, I want to settle in Canada, and then just because you just want to leave Nigeria, you go to Canada, you go and study political science, a bit Christian religious knowledge, a bit tourism and tour. Sure, you see that you're whining yourself. First of all, go leave postgraduate work permit, because really Canada actually gives courses that they see that it will be beneficial to their economy. They will give them postgraduate work permit. So imagine studying something like political science, travels and talking. Canada is not a tourist destination. If you want to do travels and tour, you know the countries to face. So that's why I used to tell people that Canada is not for everybody. USA is not for everybody. This one is not for everybody. So sometimes you just check your skill set. Number one, check what you want. It's not because everybody is moving to UK, everybody is Canada might not be for you. It might not be for your own. This just like I made the example now. People feel like travels and tour is something that is in the public domain, something that is in demand. But if you do travels and tour and you move to Canada, you end up as a caregiver. It's not as if somebody is. That is just how it is, because Canada is not a tourist. It's not a tourist place. You understand? Even when you say tourist visa, even when people say tourist visa, you see that they used to pad it with you understand? It is not a tourist destination. So imagine going there to study maybe masters in tourism, thinking that you use that one to apply for PR, and then you settle down, then you get a job. Who's gonna employ you, my dear? My dear, last you become YouTuber and be doing content creation. But why you know? So before you choose any country, it is okay to like Canada, but Canada may not like your skill set. Yes, that is just the bitter truth. You can like Canada, but Canada does not like your experience. But yeah, it's UK that the job where they do, they ain't go papers. And with this one too, like I'm saying, according to my research, I have seen a lot of jobs that they are really paying. There are some jobs that now only UK if you pay you that kind of money. There's some jobs that now only USA don't pay you that kind of money. There's some jobs that now only this one don't even want you're safe. So don't just say I like Canada. Some people now you're asking, why do you like Canada? Because it's easy to get PR. And have you forgotten that you will get PR according to your score, according to if you have job offer? There's so many factors that influence it. I hope you understand that. Imagine an engineer now that say no, it's UK I want to go. Though depending on type of engineering. So that's why I said your skill set is one of the things to actually put into consideration. Your family size, your budget, your long-term goals. So it is not about just waking up and saying I want to go to UK. What is your plan? Did UK want you? Are they your needs? Whereas we have some countries too that maybe if you study like this tourism thing, they will be rushing you. There are a lot of countries that when you go there, you have BS in tourism. They will be rushing you like, as in before you land the airport, you would have gotten a job, because that is their field. That is what they specialize in. So in that case, and this one especially is if you're actually a single person. If you're a single person, you want to have meet you by. But if you are not a single person, if you are married, for example, if the wife is actually maybe did BSc tourism or maybe masters in tourism, whereas the husband is a nurse or maybe IT or anything, those ones, at least the husband will be the main applicant. If they will supplement. But if you know that you are single, or your other half, you have a course that you are better than your other half, that means emphasis has to be on you. But if you have another half that is better, and that is why for those of you that are not married, in as much as love is important, but please, love is not enough. If you are not yet married, I'm not talking about married people, you have married, that one I have go. If you are planning to marry anybody, in as much as we check love, we check beauty, we check nyash, we check this, please, career wise, it is important. Yes, Try to marry somebody that, if you know that, for example, if there's immigration wahala now, not like wahala, okay, immigration this or career wise, at least one person will be better than the other. Don't go and marry somebody that both of you will be in the corner. Because in the past too, I've had the experience that I'll see something I don't even know who I want using the two both of you. Please, love is not enough. Pity your children. In as much as there is actually chance for career change, it's okay. You can go back to school to study nursing. You can go back to clinical and everything. But you know, the money that you used to study, the time and everything, just take your time. As you are looking for fine face, tall, dark and handsome, this one, soft hair, everything, please think about the career as well, the academic qualification, the professional experience, and you know, all of those things is important right now. Is one of those criteria. Love enough. Love alone is never enough. So make things easy for you and your future, your children or your incoming children. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So don't just settle for, and this is not just maybe somebody is educated. For example, let's say I have BSc tourism, then a mechanic guy is not asking me out, I be an electrician, and I'm not saying her because you don't have BS or no, she is it as my head is not correct, because that is that mechanic guy is that electrician pathway at you understand. So this is not me saying BSc in pato, this is not me saying masters in particular. Look at that person's professional experience, that person's skill set. I'm not talking about who go to school, because I can see, for example, somebody can be asking me out, the person should have PhD in biology. You say that you are useless to me. You are not immigration wise. The only thing that you are useful for is maybe if you want to do point based. And I'm sure somebody that has PhD in biology now, banking experience. I know those type of people that their degree is different from their experience. Well, to get job for them, it's used to unless that they have to do some certification to just stand straighten their life. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So I'm not just talking about the academic side of it. Maybe you get PhD. No, somebody can have just HND and they are going to make your immigration so seamless. Somebody can have just diploma lesson. So that's why you should get yourself familiarized with the things that are in hot cake, are in hot demand. And aside that, like I said, it's okay to find love where it does not still make sense. Make sure that the person you're going to be is somebody that is ready to learn and be there. Like if you tell the person, say you study this course, say you will clinical, and make sure that two of you are not too stringent, because we've seen some scenario that, for example, maybe if you want to go for masters or somebody wants to go for maybe like if you want to do like Canada study visa, one person will be the dependent, one person will be the main applicant, and that's her husband that have to be passing. No, you should study. No, you should study. No, I don't want to study. No, who should study now? They'll be passing it on each other. So that's what I'm saying. For those of you that you are not yet married, write things inside your book. These are one of the criteria. Make sure you are married, are we getting married or dating somebody that is flexible. For women now, let's say pregnancy ends now, you cannot tell me to go to school. Of course, it's you that is gonna do this study. You understand? So that you not go and be passing it on each other. Who should study? Who should stay at home? Who should clinical? So that's why in marriage, they actually see marriage as partnership. When one person is weak, the other person will part the other person. So you don't have to be perfect and equal. Just make sure that the other person you're with is somebody that is actually flexible and somebody that is ready to learn. Somebody that is not scared of boo. So the thing is, you know yourself. This is my weakness. Like for example, now if I get married and they say someone should be main applicant and write IELTS, me and IELTS, we have something. We don't have anything in common. So of course, it's going to be the one to write it. And in that case, I have to make sure that the person I am with is somebody that like book. Me, I like book, but my own book, level. All those IELTS is not part of the book where I like. You understand? If it's school exam now, I did it. But all these IELTS, please count me out. Like that. So if you know you are somebody that you have weakness, don't marry your fellow weak person. It did not make sense immigration wise, even love wise. In fact, which type of children are you gonna produce? So if you know this is your weakness in somebody, make sure you marry somebody that is stronger in that field. That's why they call it marriage, working in partnership. And if God bless it that both of you are strong in everything, God really answered your prayers. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So this is just me talking due to the consultation I've done in the past. Like when I say some couples, I'm like, the two of you, I don't know, I want to take a jam. Then I'll say, okay, can you go this one? I say no, I don't want to. Can you? So I say no. So who should now do the main? So for those of us we never marry, these are the things you should put your hand in the back of your hand. It's very, very, very important. Have used 15 minutes to advise you people. It's because of the things that I've seen. Thank you so very much. So the bottom line is trying to marry or be with somebody that is actually very flexible and somebody that is not scared. Like I used to have one ex that I don't really like him like that, but one thing I like about him is this one, he likes to do all this exam. Like even if they say they are doing TOEFL, Greek, he's ready to do it. You know, it's that type of person that you might, because even if there's any immigration exam, he may go right. I mean, I go just do dependence. You understand? You got it. And again, try to be with somebody that actually take advice career-wise. Like if you're trying to, for example, now, if for example, if you marry a girl that maybe did BSc tourism and you're trying to say, oh, I want to move to Canada, but this is your BSc tourism, you know, if you work, you know this thing, can you try and study nursing or study this course or anything or clinical? I say no, this BSc tourism is what I have passion for or clinical. Try to marry somebody that you hope you understand what I'm saying. Make sure that it's somebody that is flexible, because in this life that we are, nothing is permanent. Something might actually favor you now. You don't even know what will happen next. You don't know the immigration process. Try make sure to be with somebody that is flexible. But then, excuse for women, no. If the woman is pregnant or this thing, it's not that easy to study when you're pregnant and all of that. Excuse for women, so you can excuse it. But it's men, don't know what I'm saying. It's men. Well, see, I'm not supporting anybody. You people know yourself. I'm just talking general. This thing, before you say yes to anybody, make sure that you and the person don't have the same weakness. Whatever you are weak in is what the person should be strong at. Like me now, I don't know maths. Oh God, me and mathematics, as in, even as I'm trying to go back to medical school, I'm seeing the way I want to skip that year one. You see, maths and physics, me, I don't like it. So imagine me, and I'm gonna marry somebody that don't like maths and physics. You see that? It only makes sense. Do you understand? So this is me saying, don't marry your weakness. Marry where you are stronger. But so far, all the exes I've had, they're always good in maths. So I think I'm on the right track. So as I'm not good in maths, marry somebody that is good in math and physics. Because if those children bring assignments, mathematics assignment, who's gonna solve it? You send them to their father. But their father do not know biology and chemistry. So when they get to secondary school and they have assignment, send them to their mother. Should we pay equation to balance me? But imagine two of us, we don't know mathematics. They will now be calling us for PTA meeting. They will not say Mr. and Mrs. You maths. How do you even want to scold the child? Going that this speaking, you don't know math because you yourself go So that's what I'm saying. Marriage is partnership. Marry somebody that is opposite of you in a good way. The person should be strong side of you. Don't marry your weakness. I hope you understand what I'm saying. And again, immigration wise, just like how I came to make a video that nurses be careful that some male or female they're trying to get married to nurses because they feel like their immigration pathway is seamless, right? Just like nurses are hot cake. Something like so. Nurse, even if you want to marry too, make sure that the person you are marrying to, the career, it makes sense. Say it's something you can depend. Like nurses now, they can marry somebody that is in the engineering field, health field, IT or something like that. So don't, because of that, go and marry somebody that is doing, for example, tourism. Go and let's go to Canada. Trust me, that person is using you. The person is just using you to jump back. Because when you go to Canada, it's gonna divorce you. So, like for example, nurses, you're already in that top tier already. Like Otitoke, Otitoke, you day life already. So don't go for something that is lower. Let it be rank. I'm not just saying, like I said, love is not always enough. And again, depending, like if you tell the person that this is your course, so you get as it be, can you do this, can you do that? Like I've had exes in the past that I was like, this is your course, I don't like him. Answer. you will do this one. And when I say it, they actually listen to me and trying to make improvement. And so depending. But if it's all this type of people that say, no, this is what I want, this is what I like, I'm not going to school. Well, hello, yeah, your children, you're gonna see shaggy. So I've used 20 minutes to address you guys. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Okay. So today's video, I'll actually be talking about top countries that is actually in shortage demand. And like I said, we have 195 countries, and almost all countries actually have shortage occupation, shortage skills, and that's because people are actually migrating, people are actually moving, and even in Nigeria there's actually shortage as well. But the thing is, in as much as we have 195 countries, there's shortage everywhere. We all want to go to a place where our skill set will be appreciated and will be treated better, especially in money and in kind. I hope you understand that. For example, I'll be using nurses as example here because it's what everybody's familiar with, so it will be like more generic, right? For example, they don't pay nurses well in Nigeria, and they don't really feel treated better in Nigeria. But if they move to UK, they kind of pay them well, better. Comparing Nigeria to UK, they pay them better or higher. But the treatment too, it's not as if but then imagine a nurse moving to Canada. They treat them well, but the pay is just there. But then when you move to USA, they treat you well, they pay you well, they pamper you. You will even get your green card within before less than Canada. So you are seeing the differences in these different countries. Like, I hope you understand what I am trying to say. Whereas if you move to Germany as a nurse, you can't be big. So no country is same. No country. That's why I used to tell people, before you migrate, know your final destination. Know the reason why you're migrating. Are you migrating because of money? Are you migrating because of better life? Are you migrating because of treatment? Are you migrating because of I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So now I'm talking, like I said, talking about top countries that is actually in shortage and they actually pay well. So that's why I say top. Like, all countries, they're actually in shortage of skills. But I'm talking about the top ones that will actually pay for your expertise. This is not limited to nurses only. I just used nurses as an example to make it generic for everybody to understand what I'm trying to say. So the thing is, and the other mistake that people used to make is, for example, you can see people moving to UK, to Canada, and this thing. It's okay, a nurse can move to UK, a nurse can move to Canada, a doctor can move to UK, a doctor can move to Canada. But then, you now do one course. You don't know where is Canada that wants you, maybe is UK that wants you. Just like the example I've given, I actually gave. Imagine somebody doing tourism that has a tourism degree. Travels and thought, is it tourism? Yeah. And you now say, because people are moving to Canada, you move to Canada. Like, maybe your friend is a nurse, your friend that is a nurse moved to Canada. Because you are the friend to a nurse, you move to Canada and you have business tourism. You see that nurse will make it in that Canada. Whereas you, Canada is not meant for you because of your skill set. Sure, you understand what I'm saying? So even when, this is me trying to say, even when they come and post this thing, or they say this country is recruiting, this country is dying, it's not for everybody. It's not for all professions. It's not always for this thing. So make sure that your profession is one of those ones that they need, they want, that they recognize, so that you don't spend all your money migrating from Nigeria there only for you to help you understand what I'm trying to say. So in no particular order, actually, like I said, because it's actually we consider so many factors, right? So in no particular order, the first on my list is Austria. This is one country. Austria has been in the picture. No, can you call like that? So the first on my list is Austria. But one limitation people don't want to go to this country is because of the language barrier. But trust me, if you find yourself in Austria is always in dear need, like real shortage need of workers. Like I told you guys before, Austria is one of those countries that they don't like black. So it is after that COVID. Now I told you, most of these countries, COVID showed them shaggy. It showed them another side of life. So they started opening up to foreigners. So if you can find your way legally to Austria, you will definitely, even if village people follow you, they enter inside your traveling bag, say, you know, go make them. Trust me, if you reach Austria, you go make them. And not just that, actually, Austria is one of those countries that actually pay very well, very, very well. Like, they will appreciate your expertise. Austria is one of those countries, right? Then the next on my list is Germany. Germany as well is in their need of workers, but the thing has always been the language barrier as well. They'll tell you they need B1, they need B2, but then there are actually some occupations that they will actually accept you with your English knowledge. We have some department, we have some field, but if you are, for example, if you're in the healthcare field, you cannot escape it. You have to learn German. There's no two way about it. You just have to learn it. But then maybe the German level language might be lower for some, maybe for nurse, where German level language for nurses might be different from doctors or different from radiographers, something like that. So Germany is also another country that is always and has always been in their need of workers. Like if you get to Germany and you have the right skill set, you actually get the job, but the limitation is gonna be the language. And Germany actually pay well, though they don't really pay healthcare workers well, but then their pay is obviously better than UK. But then you can't compare to everybody. You know the of everybody now. The next on my list is Sweden. Sweden is actually in shortage as well, but this Sweden, the immigration process is and then schooling there is a fortune. And because so the next on my list is UK. This one is with like a comma, because UK is actually in shortage as well, but the field is extremely limited. It's like that's one of the countries with limited opportunities, and that's because they have more and lot of immigrants. There are some courses I will see some people study. I will say, this course where they study, you are competing with the locals, and it does not make sense. Don't study a course that you will be competing with UK citizen. And when I'm talking about UK citizen, I don't mean black citizen, I mean the white citizen. You see all those courses that they'll sit there inside office and AC will be blowing in your head before you study it or move to DC. Just think it twice. Yes, because they like to give the comfortable jobs to their citizen while they give the uncomfortable ones to us, we black, because they feel like Lanto, shishe, something like that. So this is not me saying you can't get AC job. Of course, people are getting it and everything, but prepare your mind for the disappointments. You can't compare how you get a care job versus how you get an office job, right? So even if you had to get that office job, you would have had years of experience, lot of certifications, lot of and like that. The next on my list is Canada. Canada has always been that country that has shortage, but Canada is in their need of workers, but their job application Canada, are you sure you need people? For example, Canada is actually in their need of doctors, but the way they make the immigration to doctors be like Canada. People in Canada are actually complaining, they're lamenting, they can't see doctor, you have to book appointment, some people 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. Even if you go, for example, maybe if you go to the hospital and you're going in pain, in hours, you don't go even see doctor. Canada is in their need of doctors. But if you check the immigration pathway that they design for doctors, even you as a doctor, you'll be like, Canada, no, bro, try later. So Canada is in their need of shortage of people, of workers, but they don't really make the immigration process very, very seamless for foreigners, especially for professionals like healthcare. There are a lot of conversion you have to do. For example, even for nurses, it was not that easy before, but it was now that they now relaxed the rule that they allowed province to be given license and all of. Before, you to work as a nurse in Canada, you cannot do like this. So hopefully, maybe years to come, though for doctors now there are pathways that they've actually introduced to kind of make it easier. But even at that, like when I was going through it, so the pathway, I'm still like, Whereas in just UK, just gonna do plan 1, plan 2, you're already working. Even US, just do US only step 1, step 2, step 3. You do step 3 if you like, right? Or you wait when you get there. And then in Canada, anyway, if you don't have PR, if you don't have citizen, you cannot match. So Canada has always been in demand of workers, but where the restriction is how they do not actually make their immigration process, their job application process seamless for foreign trained people. For example, there are some occupations when you're trying to move from Nigeria or from your own country to Canada, there's always that limitation. Some they will tell you have to do 1 year or 2 years bridging program. Okay, how much is this? You'll be seeing thousands of dollars. You'll be seeing thousands of dollars. And whereas in other countries, they will just allow you to do maybe like something like foundation program or internship, and they will pay you. For example, like UK now, if you want to move, for example, maybe you want to move from Nigeria to UK, you can apply for their foundation program, and then when you are doing it, they will still pay you stipend, they will pay you money. But you see Canada, that foundation where they doing, you will still pay money. So there is no immigrant that really want to go through that stress just to get their this thing equivalent and then to pay me how much, whereas I can easily go to another country. But Canada has always been in demand of workers, right? Not just doctors, generally in demand of workers. And then another thing is, like I said, Canada has always been in demand for workers. If you actually apply for job outside Canada, you'll be getting, unfortunately, they actually prefer you to be there. And that is to buttress my point that they did not make the immigration process seamless. For example, if I get a job in UK now, maybe if I get a business analytics job, in less than 3 months, I'll be out of Nigeria. Everything, my COS, my visa, everything will be ready. In less than 3 months, I'm already in the UK. But if you get a job in in Canada, they have to first process LMI. That will take like 2 months, maybe 3 months, depending on the company or anything. Before you do this one, you'll be looking at almost 1 year. Even the person that want to recruit you, go don't tire, find another person, replace you. So those are just the reality of it. They did not make the job application, except for sponsorship, easy or fast. So that is why when employers actually post job opportunities, they prefer to use somebody that is already in Canada. And even if you're already in Canada, they'll prefer you to have a certain visa, because they cannot go through that stress of converting visa to another that will take a whole lot of time. I know this rule in Canada, you cannot actually work in a company with another visa that is not work visa or study and work visa. So if Canada really need people, if Canada is truly in demand, they should actually relax their immigration process and make it faster, right? And make it, hope you understand that. So that's just the reality with Canada. But if you're ready to go through it, that's fine. The next on my list is Highland. This is one country that people don't really talk about. Ireland is just that country that is just there, that is just chilling, just drinking water. You say, okay. Ireland is that country that is actually in demand as well. But recently, according to my research, there's actually a housing problem. But regardless, there's a housing problem in UK, there's almost everywhere, even in Canada as well. This should not stop you from actually pursuing your dream goal. So another reason I actually like Highland is because Highland is similar to UK. Highland immigration process too is seamless for majority of the professions that I have checked. Very seamless. There are some professions, for example, if you see me talking about Nigeria, just know that I'm talking about Africa as a whole. But just like talking about Nigeria because it's my country. But just now I'm talking about any other home country that is outside the country, intending immigrant country. I hope you understand that. So, for example, Highland, there are some professionals that even once you move, for example, from Nigeria to Ireland or from your country to Ireland, you not write exam. You just send your document for evaluation, just pay evaluation fee, and then you migrate there and you start working. For example, in UK, from Nigeria, you can move directly from Nigeria to UK as a radiographer without any exam. Same with Ireland, you can move from Nigeria to Ireland, just do your CONU, CORU, evaluation and this time. You work as a videographer without any top-up program, without anything. Whereas you can compare moving from Nigeria to Canada as a radiographer. That's when they will start saying this thing. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, right? That is valid as when I'm making this video, but I'm hearing that they will start doing exam for radiographers. Me, I don't know, but as when I'm making this video, this is still valid. So this is just me saying, There are some countries that they're actually in shortage, and they will make the immigration easy for you. So even if you are looking to apply for job, if you apply to Highland and the employer actually employed to sponsor you, trust me, they're going to fast track everything. Like in less than 3 or 4 months, you should be out of Nigeria or your home country, and you can't compare it to Canada. And then another thing is Highland actually pays very well. They pay very well. They pay way higher than UK. I don't even know why people are going to UK. But people just prefer UK because it's more popular and it's more, they feel like it's more straightforward. So Ireland is another country that pays very well for your expertise, and they treat their workers better. Like, and again, depending as well. For example, just like I've explained, Highland cannot be for everybody. For example, a nurse or a radiographer, for example, you can move to Ireland, this thing. A doctor as well, a general practitioner, you can move to Ireland without any issue. But if you are a doctor that is a specialist doctor in radiology, radiography, you're just wasting your time. Ireland is not for you. Ireland is not for you. So I hope you understand the differences I'm trying to talk about. So look at it, even in the healthcare field, there is still kind of segregation. That's why I used to say, before you move to any country, recognize your skill set. Check the country you want to move to and see the possibility or not. Ireland will accept you, even UK, right? They will accept you as nurse, the general practitioner, this thing. But when it comes to the specialist side of it, to be a radiologist, to be a cardiologist, that is where issue is gonna arise. They will tell you there is no residency. You understand what I'm trying to say? So don't just say, oh, this place is in demand, I'm going. It may not be for you. It may not be for you. So that's why it's important to always make your research, or pay people like us, right, to make research for you. So it is not like there's no general rule. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So what is easy in this country might not be easy for somebody, might not be for you. It might just be variable. I hope you get me now. Then the next on my list, and then another example is a general practitioner, like a family medicine doctor, a general practitioner, we move to Canada easily than somebody that is a specialist. I hope you understand that. That one has to go through. So that's why I say, even if they say, oh, this country is in demand, this country is clinical, it might not be for you, or maybe it might not be for you at that moment. You might have to pass through like this. So that's why research is important. So the next on my list is USA. I can't really say USA is in demand or not, or is in shortage. But the thing is, okay, USA is in shortage and it's not in shortage. USA is just that country that just feel like, as long as you find your feet into this country, I'll make everything well for you. That's just USA for you. It's that country we know there's just life. It's that country that is, all the professions I've checked, USA is that top country that makes it easy for everyone. USA is just there that as long as you find your way here, I am here for you. I am all for you. I'm going to make your life sweet and seamless. USA is that country that when immigrants go, if you no make them, means say you no feel make them. USA is that country that just say, when you are done with all of that countries, feel free to come here. USA is still that country that, despite the number of immigrants migrating into that country, there is nothing like shortage of accommodation. USA is still that country that we say, regardless of the qualification where you get, regardless of your skill set where you get, regardless of anything, I feel see where to pass you. USA is that country that, regardless of, I can go on and on and on and on. USA is that country that will reward you for your expertise, pay you well for the value of your experience. When you call it, like, wait, really? USA is that country that, USA is that country that, USA is that country. USA is also that country that will say, as long as you find your feet in this country, I can give you green card, your permanent residency, in less than how many months. USA is that country that, aside the tourist visa denial, that they still make their immigration kind of seamless compared to others. It's kind of new, depending. And again, like I said, though some professions actually have issue moving to USA, trying to convert their degree, but if I have to compare it with UK, Canada, and all of those things, USA is still free, right? So the next on my list is Australia. Australia is another country as well that actually pays very well for expertise, and they're always in shortage. But Australia they are specific in their shortage. You cannot just wake up and say, yo, I'm going to Australia. It is not all courses that they want. It is not all skill that they want. So before you decide to move to Australia, you have to be strategic about it. You have to make your research or pay people like us to actually make that research for you. On my list is OTHEL. OTHEL. So like I said, we have 195 countries. All countries are in demand, but I just selected the top that pays very well and all of those ones. So when I talk about Australia/New Zealand as well, but the thing is, New Zealand immigration is not seamless. They make it difficult for somebody, so it's always better to enter Australia, then from there go to New Zealand if you want. But going directly to New Zealand, I don't know. It's like now they've even closed that. I don't know what is in that country. So the last on my list is others, like other countries, like just in quotes, any other country, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, this one, any other country. Like I said, all countries in demand of expertise, depending on the one you want. I just make mention of the top one and the general rule for them. So probably in my subsequent videos, I'll pick one of these occupations one after the other. I'm talking about countries that is actually favorable and they should actually move to, so that they will not just waste their time. For example, a radiographer that wants to move to Canada or move to US, when you can easily move to Ireland or UK and then do this, do that, and all of those things. So make sure you stay subscribed on my channel, because we have a lot of goodies to be shared on this channel. So if you know, thought of this video. So that was the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye for now.